Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Mahbouba Rajabi. I'm a digital artist, digital producer and theatre maker, and I'm also a new mom to a new baby. And I thought, as a filmmaker and digital artist, that I'm making videos. I think the best thing is also making videos about my experience and sharing basically what I'm going through with my baby with other moms. So I hope basically we can help each other. So this video is about postpartum depression, and what I found is that there is basically less information about what you're going through after postpartum and how to deal with it and how to cope with it and how actually kind of get rid of it. So my basically personal opinion as someone who basically experienced it and went through it is that when you give birth and basically what you go through after giving birth, it's emotional enough. And I think, just they call it postpartum depression, but actually I think every woman goes through it and it's in different levels, and I think some people experience much harder, and that's why they've called it the depression. But what I'm going to talk about in this video is about all this emotional roller coaster that we go through and how I deal with it myself, and how can I help you to give you some tips basically to follow that. So what I found during the pregnancy was basically that up and down with hormones and how emotional we are. And just a second, I'm going to check on the baby. He's fine, he's asleep. And I actually basically I wanted to make this video as much real as I can. As you can see my face, I haven't even washed my face because today is one of those days that I've been constantly feeding the baby. He's 1 month now and I cannot do anything, and sometimes I feel like I'm completely trapped. Sometimes I want to cry, sometimes I want to shout, sometimes I feel like I'm not happy at all, and so many negative thoughts about future come to my mind. And basically this is something that sometimes I found so overwhelming, and something that I cannot talk with no one, even though my sister is a big help to me. And honestly, I think a big part of how I could cope with it was requesting for help, and also my husband was really supportive. But the feeling that you go through sometimes is so overwhelming that you think that you're completely alone. So basically what I've done is that one of those days that my sister was she was with me for 4 days, but she went back to work, my husband was at work, and I was with the baby, and everything was amazing. You love your baby to death, and it just sometimes, even that is sometimes, just really overwhelming, that how much you love this new creature. But in the other side you feel like, why I'm not happy, why I'm feeling these up and downs, and why it's not getting sorted. Like, okay, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, okay, what is wrong? So the first thing I've kind of wanted to do was to kind of search for dealing with postpartum depression, dealing with postpartum, coping with, and how to recover from, all these searches on the internet. The only kind of helpful tips I've got is that don't be hard on yourself, and don't expect, if you're especially a person who have a lot of discipline. Just a second, the baby. Okay, he's stretching at the moment. Okay. So all these searches, but what I found is about this sentence that it's all fine. So is that don't be hard on yourself, and basically if you're a very disciplined person like myself that always had a plan and a schedule, just start with just very simple task for yourself. So my simple task was starting to have a shower, have a meal, and maybe just watching my favorite TV show or something when the baby is asleep. So one of the things I love, a part of my work was love for Far East of Asia, especially Korea and Japan. So I choose a Korean drama, which is, I found them really uplifting. Something really uplifting. If you love comedy, you can watch comedy. If you're a favorite sort of comedian, just watch it. Something that always basically lift you up. So I started this trauma, and whenever the baby sleep, even for 10 minutes, or even when I was breastfeeding and I would just, my baby want to be quiet, he doesn't like me to talk. So I just play it and do my breastfeeding, and even just having a 10 minutes kind of to watch, or these little things really helped. And also talk about it. I found that you feel like nobody cannot help you, or you find it really hard to share it, even sometimes so hard to put it in words, of how you feel not okay. And it's very special, like the labor pain. For example, what I found about the labor pain, you cannot explain it. You cannot explain labor pain, you cannot explain birth. It's just something which is very hard to put in words. So, but what I found is to put that simple task and just remind myself, do not expect from yourself. Just don't expect that much. Just pause. Okay, I'm back after sorting out the baby. So what I'm suggesting is to, I know it's sometimes to kind of sound cliche, or they do it in these motivational videos, but honestly I found it really helpful. Just have a notebook or even a piece of paper or something that you can kind of keep the record of. So I really recommend if you've got a notebook, because it would be really good for you to kind of put the date and what task you want to do. Or basically I found the app BabyBot very, very helpful, because they also have that sort of a specific of you can do it on those little tasks after you give birth to your baby, that you can basically tick. But to be honest, I found the writing one, because as a mom you're so busy and you cannot be on your phone that much. So I found the writing one really helpful. So when I'm sitting in my living room, I put the notebook closest to myself, because I'm constantly having the baby and doing the breastfeeding, so I wanted to be close enough to me to grab it and just quickly basically write the task, so, and or take them. So your task could be having a healthy meal, having your favorite show, and having a shower. You know, the things that maybe when you don't have the baby and you've been working so hard, it was very, you know, sometimes it's a dream. But you come to your maternity, and these are basically those little things that you wish you kind of do that, but with the baby it became so hard. So be so basically easy on yourself, and even put 3 things or maximum 5 things. I tell you, don't go over 5 things, and 5 tasks. So it can be shower, having a healthy meal, dancing with my baby, singing with my baby, because trust me, those feelings make you not connecting with your baby that much, and you feel also guilty that I'm not talking to my baby that much. And I give you an example. I remember I found myself changing my baby and being completely speechless and staring, and then suddenly I thought to myself, this little creature is looking at me, but I'm not talking to you. And I started telling him about my feelings, and that kind of reminded me that I have to put a task to dance with my baby and talk to my baby, and basically enjoying our time. I've kind of started to put the music that I used to dance with him when I was pregnant. And because I was so feeling like, why I'm not happy, why I'm tired, why it's so hard, because you experience pain after birth, which is really, really hard to be happy. When you have this pelvic pain, bleeding, when you're actually if you're breastfeeding, you feel even more and more tired. But even bottle, you know, if you're feeding your baby with bottle, it's also constant sort of feeding is make you so tired. So I've put that as one of the tasks, and I've reminded you, don't go over 5 tasks. And I really want to encourage you to do it even if your baby is 1 month, 2 months, because when the baby gets older, even my baby is 1 month, but because I have nieces and nephews, I remember when they were a baby that they want to hug you more, they want to be with you more. So if you start, but when they are baby and they sleep more and you have more time with yourself, is that when they get basically older, you kind of have more control of the task that you want to do. And basically that would really help you. I also really remind you that if your baby is up most of the time of the night, have a nap with them. I found it hard at the beginning because when the baby was asleep I was so tired, but I didn't want to go to sleep. But what I did is that I forced myself. I've put him beside the bed, and then I lay down, and I found that even though I don't feel like I'm going to sleep, I went to sleep even for 10 minutes, and that nap was really, really helpful. So one of the big reasons that I'm making this video is to remind moms that you are super powerful, that you come across the pregnancy and the labor pain. Even if you're a C-section or natural birth, it doesn't matter. And just to remind ourselves how powerful we are. And one of the things that I've basically done today that I'm really proud of, so in every video I'm going to share that what I'm proud of as a mom and what I've done, is that I came back to editing. I've done some photos to do an animation, so when the baby was asleep for half an hour, I've sat on the computer, I've done very little editing, but I'm proud of myself. I've done something which I always feel productive, and then when the baby woke up, I've just feeling really better. So these little things that kind of make you, if you write or if you draw, you know, a hobby that kind of make you feel productive, or even if something relates to your job that you can do even for 10 minutes, that feel to remind you that not only you're a mom, you're a professional person, you're a person with basically aims and goals in life. So please do that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I will try to basically make more videos, and again, I just wanted to look completely natural. I love makeup, by the way, that I will kind of show in my next video, but I just needed to come completely natural in front of the camera. And I just want to tell you, I didn't even use a tripod. I just put it in the thing that I don't know the English word, just put it in front of me with a book to kind of do this video, and just make yourself basically a time to think about basically everything in the future and your amazing time with your baby. It just is one of the most incredible miracles of word that you've got it now. So remind yourself of that. And whatever they've called it, postpartum, even if they tell you that you've got postpartum depression or whatever, it will pass. And it's something really, really normal that we have to remind ourselves that you know, just we've done one of the most amazing jobs in the world, and we give birth to a human being. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next videos.